Hello, everyone. It's Shamila Ramjawan coming to you from the Red Corner Show in Johannesburg, South Africa. This Women's Month, we are celebrating 31 women from across the globe who are coming on board to inspire other women. So today we have Aladia Mahomed, who's the CEO of Aladia's Kitchen. She's a self-made entrepreneur. Aladia was retrenched in March last year and did not have an income. On the 3rd of May 2020, with her last 2 kg pack of chicken, she started her self-made home-based business, Aladia's Kitchen. And she says each day paid for the next. A year later, she has 2 branches. Hello, Aladia. How are you?
Hey, Shamila, I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I'm so excited to speak to you and just hear about your journey. It's been amazing. Are you there? Can you hear me?
It has been amazing. Yes, I can. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It hasn't been easy, I have to say, but it's all been worth it.
Well, I can tell, starting off with a 2 kg chicken, working from home, and just having 2 branches. I mean, that is an achievement on its own.
Yeah, so you see, well, whilst growing up, my dad worked really hard, and I always look at him as my inspiration. Back in the day, my dad was a postman, and then they used to carry this heavy bag on their back every day. And there were days I used to feel so sorry for my dad and even say to him, stay at home today, or it's raining, or it's too hot. And he would never do that. He was up every morning at 4, and he made sure that he went out there and he did what he needed to do, to provide for us as a family. And, whenever I think of quitting or just giving up or doing nothing, I think of my dad and how he's inspired me to be who I am today. And I got all my strength from him.
Wow, that's amazing. Aladia, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your education, your career, anything that you'd like to share with us.
Okay, so I was born in Durban in Merebank, and born into a Hindu family. Yeah, so we lived with my grandparents for quite a while. And then we moved on to Newlands West, where I schooled. Yeah, so I schooled in Newlands, and from there, well, most of my schooling career, I was head of the debating team. I loved taking part in speech contests. I was head prefect at school. And yeah, schooling was really great. I did really well, excelled. And then along the way, I made a few wrong decisions. And yeah, instead of going into law, I went into retail, where I studied business management. And while my career in retail has been for like almost 20 years. And my dad wasn't too happy because he saw me in law. And yeah, so, when you meet the wrong people in life, you sometimes make wrong choices. And the one thing I'm proud of, though, is that I didn't let those choices determine who I was, and it didn't stop me from being who I am today. Yeah, and so during my life's journey, I had endured a lot in life, and the wrong choices I made led to abuse, physical, emotional, financial abuse. And then too, I rose above every situation because I had decided that I wasn't going to let that determine who I am. And I used my struggles as a platform to be able to help other people. And even on my darkest days, I would go out there and help other women that were going through abuse. And they would never guess for the life of them that I was going through it myself. Because I always stepped out into the world with my makeup on and the biggest smile, and I always excelled in my career. And I just hid this life, out there in the world. I was someone else, this powerful woman excelling in her career, doing so well, training other people. I became an accredited trainer and assessor at work. And behind closed doors, it was a different story. This girl who was head of the debating team used to be stuck for words and couldn't stand up for herself. And until last year, when I started my brand, I actually found my voice. And I realized that it's nothing that I need to be ashamed of, because, it's as much as I made the poor choices, but I didn't ask for that life of abuse and whatever I had been going through. And I'm proud of who I am today, because those circumstances and what happened for like almost 16 years of my life didn't determine the future. And yeah, I'm stronger now. I'm more powerful, and I'm able to assist so many people, because my pain became my way of being able to help other people.
I just want to find out, there's a lot of women that's going through the exact same thing with abuse. How did you overcome that? What made you take that big step?
uh you have a choice in life, and you can either choose to stay down and choose to be who your abuser wants you to be, or you find your real you again. And I had that choice, and there was no way that I was going to allow me to be kept down or kept where the abuser wanted me to be. I decided to step up. And it's a difficult choice. It's not easy. There are days you want to stay in a room, you want to be in a dark place, you want to cry the whole day, but it's okay. It's okay to do all of that. But the important thing is that we step out of it, and we realize that you're not worth what he does to you. You're worth more than that. And I find a lot of therapy in writing. And so I write letters to people that have hurt me. I write letters to myself, and I write down just everything, like all my feelings, and then the ones that I want to like let go of. So those I tear up or I burn it up and I get rid of it, to release all of that anger and hurt. Because like the longer that you hold on to it, the worse it becomes for you. You're actually giving the abuser that much control over you in life. So, ladies, it's very important for us to find the real you and just step out of it. It's difficult. It's very difficult. It's not easy, but that is why we are all here. And as women, when we help each other, amazing things happen. And by even you, Shamila, as you just opening up this platform for us to be able to speak to each other, women out there are going to be not alone. We are all in this together.
Yes,
So
for
you don't
sure.
have to go through anything alone. Just you speak up. I mean, I reached out to you, and I mean, it was just asking, and there I am speaking to you today. And I never thought I'd be speaking to you. I mean, a woman of your stature, finding ordinary little me to speak on your show, but it's about us just reaching out.
We all on the same level. We're all women. We are amazing. We are selfless and limitless. So just remember that. But just, you obviously have this passion for cooking because you started Aladia's Kitchen and you're doing extremely well with the two businesses that you have. Take me through that journey. How did it start? Where are you now? What's your favorite dish? Anything that you want to share? Because I love food.
Okay. So it started on the 3rd of May with a 2-kilo packet of chicken. It was the last thing that I had left. No pension fund, nothing to fall back on. And yeah, I woke up that morning, cried a lot, called my mom, and the words she said to me was, "You better than this." And called my sister, and I said, I have a choice of going back to work and getting a third of my salary or facing retrenchment. And she said, "You will not go back for a third of your salary because you are worth more than that." So after having spoken to my mom and my sister, I cooked the chicken and I decided to advertise on the neighborhood group. And in a short while, I had an order for 2 chicken bunnies, and I was absolutely ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. And so I sold out on the chicken curry that day. And the next day, I cooked sugar beans and I sold 5 portions. And
Wow.
then, so the next day it was mince. So I was looking for all the cheaper options, stuff that I could afford with the money that I was making. But the one thing which I did, which is most important, the day I started, I gave the business a name
Mm-hmm.
and I had a book with budgets. So I didn't just start the business and say, what, I'm just going to cook for now and see where this goes. No, I said on the day that I started, I'm building a brand. And that's exactly what I did. So it started like that with 1 item per day on the menu. And then from there, it went into 2. And now we have 55 items on the menu,
My
not just curries,
goodness.
but toasted sandwiches, burgers, breakfast. And our signature dish is a lamb bunny chow. But my favorite dish, and which is a huge hit, is crab curry. Original,
Oh my
authentic
goodness.
Durban style crab curry.
Really? I've got to try it. I'm definitely going to try it. Are you there? Did I lose you?
Okay, so yeah, so the signature dish is crab curry, and many of my customers just wait for it because it's that crab curry that you eat, when it drips down your elbow. And yeah, the tastiest, spiciest Durban authentic crab curry. And so my journey thus far, well, I operated from home for 2 months and the business started outgrowing itself. And, my dad used to come along and he'll say to me, you need a shop. And I said to myself, but dad, I didn't even know how to start a food business initially. Like, how will I work in a shop, a food business? And he said, no, you have to. And so eventually I found the Hirsch's space in Struben's Valley. And yeah, they had a spot for me. And yet again, I was a bit stressed because I didn't have the finances. And I knew opening a restaurant now would mean having to have appliances and, all the things which I didn't have money for. But anyway, I found a spot and I said yes, because that's how I look at life. You always say yes and then you figure it out. So I went there, and fortunately for me, everything was there that I needed. All the big appliances, the stove, the freezers, upright display freezer. And all I had to do was walk in with all of my pots and pans from home, the microwave, well, everything that I could possibly take, I took with me. And the journey started. So from cooking for four, I started cooking in a takeaway, and
Wow,
it just got more
congratulations.
exciting. I remember the one, thank you. The one Saturday morning, we got so busy. I had to cook, and there were so many breakfast orders that I just stood in the kitchen and I started crying because I didn't know what to do. And we have an open plan kitchen, so customers can see me. And I didn't even worry who was watching, but I just stood there and the tears just flowed. So there was many times where I felt like, what? Can I really do this? And, is the food business for me? Because like my last position was a regional manager, and, there it's much easier because you work your own times, you walk in with your laptop, you do your reports, you do checklists. And, that was my last job. And now I'm hands-on 24/7, no days off. You just got to wake up every day and do this.
Yeah.
And very soon, Mrs. Hirsch heard my story, and her PA contacted me for a coffee chat. So as much as I followed her, I wasn't on her business network on Facebook. So I didn't know the coffee chat meant having a chat where everyone was going to be listening. So I eagerly said yes. And we get on this coffee chat, and then she introduces me, and then I realized, okay, so everyone's watching. But being the talker that I am, I just fall into these things. So yeah, she gave me her platform to tell everyone my story of how it started, and she said how proud she was of me, and she offered me the Fourways space. And yet again, there's Aladia saying yes, not knowing how it's going to work out, and I just said yes. So when we finished the coffee chat, Mrs. Hirsch, she wants everything done like yesterday, and that is why she is who she
So
is
successful,
today.
yes.
So she called me and said, yes, and she asked me like, when are you opening? So I still had to figure things out, because yet again, I would need all these appliances and everything else, which, I didn't have the funding for. So I was open enough with her, and I said to her, I don't have anything to start with. And she said, no, go to Fourways and you'll see there's a fridge and a stove upstairs. Tell them to bring it down for you. And, God has just been so amazing in this journey, because without any financial backing, everything just happened. Even when I opened Struben's Valley, one of my customers, Leon, he walked in and he called me outside and he says, how are you operating a business? And I said, why, Leon? He says, you don't have signage. I said, yes, but right now I need to focus on buying stock. I can't have, I can't afford signage. And he goes away, he comes back and he gives me money and he says, there, do your signage.
Wow,
So
that
the
is
journey has
amazing.
been so amazing. And, like a conversation I had with my son, my little boy, not so little, just a few minutes ago. And, I was quite down. And he said to me, he said, Mom, God gives his biggest battles to his strongest soldiers.
Soldiers,
And
yes.
I said to him, God must think that I'm really, really strong for everything that I've been through. And he says, Mom, don't worry, because everything's just going to get better. Yeah, so Fourways happened just like that. Yet again, taking everything that I had from home and starting the business, opening. It's now 7 months old. Struben's Valley is 14 months old, and the struggle is not over, And every day I'm so happy for the team that I have, that they work against all odds. And the fact that I still don't have all the industrial appliances. I mean, we're working with like a 2-slice toaster and a normal George Foreman grill and, little things, but we make it happen. And my staff are so amazing. They make all of this possible with their I can do attitude. And they never say no to anything, and we always talk about it and we say, don't worry, guys. A year from now, we're going to have everything that we need and everything's going to be so much easier. But for now, we work with what we have. And that is what makes my team absolutely special.
That is awesome. And they always say when you cook with love, that's what you get, the best output, right? Can you hear me?
Absolutely. And that is exactly how I started the business because, yes, I can.
I think there's a delay, but, technical difficulties all the time, but we can still have this wonderful conversation.
Yes. So as I was saying, I didn't stop there. So because of my partnership now with Mrs. Hirsch, I eventually said to myself, I started a brand. I'm not just going to be an Indian auntie with a takeaway and it ends here. So this brand is going to grow bigger and I want to have one at every Hirsch store. And I've now been given another opportunity to open Aladia's Kitchen in Meadowdale.
That's awesome. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
She's such an amazing woman. In fact, she's one of the 31 women that I'm showcasing on the Red Corner Show this month.
And she deserves every bit of it because she's so amazing. Like last night I emailed her and I told her I don't even know how I'm starting this journey, but I'm opening Meadowdale. And she has some stuff at the basement in Meadowdale and I went to have a look at it. So I sent her all the pictures and she says, gladly, you can have it with pleasure. And so she makes the journey so much easier for me, with everything that she's done so far. And, besides the stuff that she's given me, but like when she's at a store and I go in there and the chats that we just, we sit and have, and she's just so inspirational and just being with her makes such a difference. And I'm so grateful that she has come into my life.
Yes, and she's got the most beautiful heart. But what were your biggest challenges, Aladia? I know you mentioned finance, resources, all of that. But when you started, just to help startups, I know you took the plunge, you took the courage, you took the risks, and you decided to just say, yes, I'm going to do it. And here you are now, I would say you're successful. But what sort of challenges you had besides those?
Well, I think that the first challenge that I had was not knowing the industry, never having been in the food business before. Like you said, when you're cooking with love, and cooking has always been my passion. I learned to cook at a very young age, at the age of 9, because mom and dad were working and I had my 2 little sisters that I was taking care of. So I had to cook. I had to learn to cook to feed them. So I learned to cook at a young age and I loved it. And so I overcame that challenge because of my love for cooking. And the biggest hurdle for me was definitely finances. And but I didn't let that stop me. And like I said, it meant cutting a microwave every day from home to the shop and back, I did that. If it meant taking my toaster and my kettle, I did all of that. So it's important that we use the resources that we have to make things possible, because, you can't say in life, I don't have anything, because then you're never going to have anything. You always have to make do with what you have, and all things will be possible. So yeah, I think those were the two biggest struggles that I experienced, and obviously having to, just figure everything out. And, in cooking with love, the one thing which I didn't know much of then was how, like, having to cost the food. And, I did, the prices that I had, some of them were not what it's supposed to be, and I wasn't seeing a profit. And along my journey, as you meet people, I recently met a chef, Basu Govender, from Time to Meet. And, he's been teaching me a lot about how we should cost in the business and how we can make profit. So the learning hasn't stopped, because with each day that goes by, I'm learning more. And 10 years from now, I'm going to sit back and have a franchise of Aladia's Kitchen.
How amazing is that? Congratulations. Going on to the third. That is just phenomenal. Well done to you. And thanks to Margaret Hirsch for helping you along on this journey as well. But just, what motivates you, or who motivates you to do what you do?
Well, I would say I motivate me, because from a very young age, I was I'm a self-motivated person. And like I said to you, even with all the struggles and stuff in life, I still, I go against all odds to make it happen. And I've been my own motivator most times to be able to get up and do this. And I think it all starts with us, as much as I look up to many people like you and Mrs. Hirsch and my sister. Both my sisters are absolutely inspirational. I mean, with the things that they've done. My one sister has her own business. My other sister motivates people, and she does runs for gender-based violence. And I have so many motivate people around me, but I had to be my own motivator, and that's what got me to where I am today.
Definitely, we are the master of our destinies. So we have to make it happen. It all starts with us.
Absolutely.
How do you think women can empower themselves, Aladia?
I think what's most important as women is that you must find your passion and just do it.
Sorry, I think we're having major technical difficulties today. Okay, I can see it now. Yes, I can.
Okay. So what I think is most importantly is to find your passion and just do it. That empowers you more, is where you believe in yourself and you believe that you can actually do this, and part of what motivates me and allows me to empower myself is being able to help others and see others rise along with me on this journey. And that's what empowers women. When you help someone else, it actually makes you a better person, and it empowers you to want to do more and be more. So never forget about the next person, and use you raising others to be a huge empowerment in your life.
You're such an inspiration. I just wish you all the best, and I'm just going to watch your journey. Just in closing, what would be your best advice to women out there for Women's Month? I think I lost you again. I think I lost Aladia Mahomed, who's coming to you from South Africa. She's shared her journey with us. Wish her all the best in growing Aladia's Kitchen into a franchise. And we're going to say bye for now.